Hello, welcome. Let's look at this JAMB past question, chemistry 2018, question number 5. A basic postulate of the kinetic theory of gases is that the molecules of a gas move in straight lines between collisions. This implies that A. Collisions are perfectly elastic, B. Forces of repulsion exist, C. Forces of repulsion and attractions are in equilibrium, D. Collisions are inelastic. Now, for us to understand this and be able to answer it, we need to know about the kinetic theory of gases or matter. Now, the kinetic theory of matter or gases actually postulates that these particles, that is the particles of the gases, are continually, if you check your textbook, you're going to find this out, continually moving. The particles of the gases are continually moving, and therefore so they possess kinetic energy. So that is the postulate. So according to the assumption of kinetic theory of gases, they actually move in a straight line between collisions. The gas molecules will collide with one another and with the walls of the container. So what actually happens is that if you have gas molecules, they are constantly colliding with one another, and they are also colliding with the walls of the container. That's what is happening. That's what the postulate of the kinetic theory of gas says. So they constantly do that. So there is the force of repulsion that exists between them. There is force of repulsion existing. So this force of repulsion also enables this collision with the walls of the container and with them. So if you check out things like the van der Waals force, the van der Waals equation for solving gas movement, you're going to find out that there is space for correction due to volume and correction due to force of repulsion, A and B. So all these tends to point towards these forces of repulsion exist. Whenever you talk about kinetic theory of the gases, you must mention the forces of repulsion that exist between the molecules, which enables pressure to be created due to the collision with the walls of the container. So if you go by elimination, perfectly elastic is not there. If you check the kinetic theory of gases, that's what we are looking at. So the postulate of kinetic theory of gases is that the particles are continually moving, and so they possess kinetic energy. Now what actually happens is that the gas molecules will collide with one another. So there is always collision of gas molecules with one another, and also with the walls of the container. So that's where collision normally happens, with one another and with the walls of container. And there is always force of repulsion existing. If you check the van der Waals equation, you see where this correction for force of repulsion is taken care of. So B is the accurate answer, but take note of the postulate or the statement of the kinetic theory of gases, that the gas particles are in continual motion, and so they possess kinetic energy, and as they are moving in this very motion, they are colliding with one another and with the walls of the container. Thank you.